id Software. You know what? Rage 3. No, I'm kidding. It's that time again. It's nearly June, which means quote-unquote E3 time is upon us. And of course, E3, the actual in-person event, is canceled this year, so really this is just going to be a prediction list for Xbox's showcase. They still have their own live stream despite the fact that they don't meet in person at a venue. I'm in a lot different circumstances this time. Last year I recorded it from inside my car, because where I was had very poor internet, so that's where I made the video and uploaded it, at a McDonald's. But now I'm in a house, and I'm ready to rock and roll. Now this list is in no particular order, it's just kind of random. And I'm actually doing it a little bit early this time. Normally I do it mere days before the event, but I'm recording this about 2 weeks before the event. So things could change before then, there could be announcements happening, things dropping that lead up to the event. Anyway, let's just jump right into it and go over my predictions for the 2023 Xbox Showcase. Now, the first thing I got on my list is that Phil announces that yes, the Activision deal is indeed going through. I know right now it looks like a couple of countries have approved it, or I don't know if it's countries or like organizations that have to approve it. I'm not sure all the little details about what needs to happen for that to go through, but I think it will officially happen and he will welcome Activision into the Xbox brand at the event. Now, I don't know if it'll be official yet. That probably won't happen until next year, I bet, or maybe even the year after, but I think he will make it official by being like, welcome Activision. And he'll put up the logo next to Xbox, the whole 9 yards. But I do think that Call of Duty will still come to all platforms, just like he did with Minecraft, where he didn't lock it just Xbox and PC. I also think while he does that, he announces more studio acquisitions. I think there's plenty of candidates, like Sega was rumored for a while, maybe Atari, and another one I think that's possible is Telltale Games, because like they came back, but I don't think they're that big right now. And I think Xbox could actually boost their productivity. They have a lot more people they could put on that team. They could get games out quicker. Now let's move on to probably their most important studio, which is 343 Industries, and it sucks because they've had a lot of studio departures lately. Frank O'Connor's out, Bonnie Ross is out, Kiki Wolfkill is out, Joseph Staten is out. All these people that have been involved with Halo for so long are all gone. It really sucks. So like, I would have said, like in a perfect world, I would have been like, okay, they're going to show off a campaign DLC expansion, because that's what Joe Staten was beginning to write before he left. So that is basically scrapped. I think they're going to show off, because this Season 4 comes out June 20th, so it'll be about, I think, 10 days after E3. I keep calling it E3. After the showcase, that'll be out. So they'll have a trailer and some gameplay. They'll show the future of the game with maybe PvP mode, like Firefight, reveal that. New weapons, new vehicles. Probably address the big leaks that happened. I saw all those Reddit leaks. A lot of that stuff that's coming looks pretty cool. It's just a long time coming. Like, this should have been in the game long ago. Game's been out for 18 months, I think, and it's still not up to snuff for a Halo game in days of old, where there would be a lot more content on day one. I mean, Infection is finally coming. It shouldn't have taken this long. And it's all because of that crappy new engine they made. And, of course, there's the rumor that... Well, I don't even know if it's a rumor. I think it's confirmed that from now on they're going to use Unreal Engine, which they should have done from the beginning. Why did Halo Infinite waste, like, 3 or 4 years building a new engine when it was... Apparently, it's a mess of spaghetti code because they had a bunch of contractors work on it. But that's a whole thing that I won't go into. I think Certain Affinity, they're rumored to take over some of the development, and they're rumored to be making Battle Royale for Halo, which I don't really want. The only thing that could be cool about that is if when you drop onto the map, you're dropping in ODST drop pods. That would be cool, but I don't really want BR. They even said the only BR they want is the battle rifle, and they don't care about Battle Royale, but well, whatever. We'll see how they do it. Next up is the Coalition, and I think they're actually going to reveal that heavily rumored Gears collection. There was a rumor not too long ago that said Gears Ultimate and then a new Gears 2 and 3 remaster, which I would love, because I love 2 especially. And then 4 and 5, and maybe even Judgment, will be all packaged together like Master Chief Collection. Then after all that, there'll be a brief cinematic teaser, I think, for Gears 6. I think it'll just be a cinematic because I still think that game is far away, despite the fact that 5 came out in 2019, and then they had the DLC in 2020. They only recently put out that, like, cinematic... It wasn't really a teaser, it was kind of like an Unreal Engine 5 demo. using assets from Gears of War, but I don't think it was indicative of what the game's going to be because it wasn't a main character. So they're going to have to canonize an ending. They have to choose an ending for who died in 5, I think, for 6. So it'll be a brief teaser, I think. Maybe just a logo reveal. And then also possibly an update on the Gears movie. Next up, I think Compulsion Games will finally reveal what they've been doing since they made We Happy Few. Because they were purchased by Microsoft like 4 or 5 years ago and have been completely silent since then. So maybe We Happy Few 2, probably a new IP if I had to guess. So that's probably what they'll show. Double Fine, I think, will be mostly a no-show. They'll probably just be like, hey, let's celebrate. Like they'll have some kind of celebration for Broken Age's, I think it's their 10th anniversary. And maybe some collection of their games. I don't think any new games will be shown. Unfortunately, I think the Initiative, it's going to show nothing. Even though also they were announced to be formed like 5 years ago. And they've had nothing except that Perfect Dark teaser, but there's rumors of development hell for that, so I think nothing from them still, which sucks, but I just think that's the nature of what's going on there. And then inXile, I think they'll reveal something small, kind of like what Obsidian did when they revealed Pentiment, a little like holdover game, or it was kind of like a passion project, I think, to hold people over until their big stuff. Because Microsoft they really want a new first-party game every quarter, which is crazy and like really ambitious. But with Game Pass, they can put these smaller games out, and I think it's just taken a while for Phil to get all these wheels turning because he had to spend basically over half of last generation trying to fix the mess that the Xbox One generation was. Like, we just passed the 10th anniversary of the reveal of the Xbox One, which is crazy to think about. Where Phil, what was the last guy's name? Don Matrick, where he just completely screwed up the brand, and Phil has been trying to turn that ship around, and it's taken years. But yeah, I don't think much from them. But maybe a Wasteland collection? I don't know. I don't know much about inXile's IPs. Mojang, probably some kind of promo for Minecraft Legends, probably a tease for DLC. By then, the new update will be out by then. I think it's June 7th that the Tales and Trails update comes out, so probably no update stuff. Maybe some new mashup packs, some skin packs revealed. DLC, that'd be cool. But not much from them. Ninja Theory, I think, is finally going to have a huge... Because they had the teaser... They've had many teasers. It feels like the past 3 years they've had teasers for Hellblade 2. And then they've gone... I think they went quiet last year, but I think finally this is the year. I think they'll have a huge, like, 10-minute gameplay demo and a firm release date of this fall. I think it's coming this year. I think they can't wait any longer. Then Obsidian, similarly to that, I think Avowed will get a cinematic trailer, maybe some gameplay. And then I think they will tentatively schedule it for early next year. Definitely not this year, because they don't want four of their big games at once, because they got to spread them out. And then also from Obsidian, possibly a tiny tease of a remaster of New Vegas, and then a cinematic teaser for, maybe even a logo teaser of Fallout New Vegas 2. Or either, I don't know, because Obsidian, aren't they also doing Outer Worlds 2? Yeah, Outer Worlds 2 will probably come first. Yeah. You know what? Fallout New Vegas 2, that's like a pipe dream. That's more of a thing that I want to happen, less so than a thing that will probably happen. I don't know. I'll make a bingo card, and that'll probably be on like the space that will definitely not be crossed off. But yeah, a remaster of 1 could be cool if they get a remaster studio to do it. Next up is Rare. I think it'll be a big blowout for Everwild, because do you remember that game? I think they didn't show it at all last year. They kind of disappeared, but I think they'll re-reveal it. And then I think it'll be surprise, like gameplay, and then it'll be like a surprise release of this year, like maybe September or November, something like that. And then also, because it's Rare, I think a big Sea of Thieves update will be shown. And then, I'm going to keep saying this every year until it happens, a little teaser, a cinematic teaser of Banjo 3, because, I mean, the 3D platformers are doing well now. They've had a resurgence over the past several years. And then, this is another hope, possibly a remaster of Banjo 1 and 2. It comes out end of this year. That's kind of a pipe dream. Next up is Turn 10 Studios. I think they'll do a Forza demo for the reboot, just called Forza Motorsport. And then, of course, I think it'll just come out in October. Like, Forza is pretty consistent about showing it off and then saying it's coming this year. Undead Labs. I think this is finally the year where, because it's been a couple years since we saw that State of Decay 3 tease. I think we'll get a full reveal of State of Decay 3 with gameplay, but releasing Q1 of next year, or maybe even Q2, like a spring game of 2024. And then also they'll have some kind of celebration for the 10th anniversary of that franchise, because State of Decay 1 was, what, 2013? Yeah, and then they'll probably... State of Decay 2 will probably get some big anniversary update. Something cool. To tide us over until 3. Next up is World's Edge, which I think is a terrible name. I don't like that name for a studio, but it was their internal studio they made for Age of Empires. I just think they'll have an expansion for AoE 4, and that'll be it. And coming out probably the end of this year. And then this isn't a particular studio, but Flight Simulator probably will get some big update. Something fun. You know what would be cool? I would love, instead of just planes, if they expand it to, like, blimps and airships. That'd be cool. Like, if I can fly a replica of the Hindenburg, that'd be cool. I would like that. I think next up is Arcane Studios, and I think they will be an absolute no-show, because Deathloop was not that long ago. So that studio is not ready to show off whatever they have next. And it did okay, but not great for them. I still haven't played it, and I want to. And then Redfall just came out, and it was an unmitigated disaster. So I think they're going dark for a while. But if they do come out and admit their mistakes and be like, yeah, guys, we screwed up, and we're going to fix it, kudos to them. I would give them big props for that, but I kind of don't think that'll happen. And, of course, the pipe dream is I want Prey 2. Because I loved Prey 2017. It'll never happen, though, but I would love it. Tango Gameworks, I think they'll just talk about Hi-Fi Rush's success and talk about how it'll be like, hey, go play Ghostwire Tokyo on Xbox. It's on Xbox now. Another game I haven't tried, but it's another game that I don't think did super well for them on PlayStation or on Game Pass. But so yeah, they won't have much to say, I think, this time. Maybe a tiny tease, like maybe just some artwork for their next project, but probably nothing. ZeniMax Online, the same thing I say every year, which is just more ESO stuff, which I could care less about. Elder Scrolls Online, it's just never going to stop. They're going to keep updating that bastard until Elder Scrolls 6. That's going to be people's Elder Scrolls fix until that game. And speaking of Elder Scrolls, next up is Bethesda Softworks. I think, of course, well, they already said that there's going to be a Starfield Direct right after the showcase. So that's where all the Starfield stuff will be. It'll be a big demo of a mission, probably half an hour of gameplay, if I had to guess. But here's the kicker that I think there's a big chance, and this will be devastating for them if this happens again, because the game was supposed to come out last fall, like last November, and then it got delayed till the spring, and then it got delayed till the end of this year. So it's already had like 3 delays. Guys, I think because they don't want this to be a big screw-up, and they don't want to have another Redfall on their hands, people are going to hate this, but I think it could get delayed again. I think it'll be a gut punch, but I think they'll be like, we hate to do this, but it's being delayed until like January of 2024. And they'll be like, we promise it's the last delay. And people that want ES6 are going to hate it because they're like, well, that's just going to be, it's going to be freaking 2030 before that game comes out. So nothing from ES6, I think, but yeah, I do think there's a strong possibility it's delayed again. But to hold us over, I think Oblivion or Morrowind or even Daggerfall will get a remaster from, I don't know, Blue Point. I think Sony owns them. Some remaster studio will do it. And then Fallout 76 will get something big update. Don't care, personally. But if you do, that's perfectly fine. id Software. You know what? Rage 3. No, I'm kidding. That'll never happen. Rage 2 was fine, but pretty forgettable. Neither of those... I was shocked that it even got a 2, but whatever. I think Doom is taking a rest. Like, the single-player Doom games are taking a rest, which is fine by me. I loved Eternal. I loved the DLC. has a lot of replay value, so it'll be fine for years, I think. So I don't think we'll get a third game. I don't know where they go next with Doom. But they'll take a rest for that. But I think they'll move on. They'll actually go back, and I think there'll be a cinematic teaser for a new Quake reboot in the vein of Doom 2016. Full on, just called Quake again, not Quake 5 or whatever it would be. Just Quake. Maybe a subtitle, Quake something. Like Quake Reborn, I don't know, something cheesy. It'll be headed up by Marty Stratton and... what's the other guy's name? Hugo Martin, that did Doom 2016 and Eternal. So it'll be their new project. It'll just be a cinematic teaser, I think. They'll tease more info at QuakeCon. Probably not gameplay yet. They'll probably be like next year. It'll be back to a more dark fantasy setting like Quake 1. But then also, because they re-released Quake 1, I think last year, or was that the year before? I don't remember. And I want to get back into it, but what I've played of it is fun, having not played it before. But I think 2 will get a re-release, just like 1, coming out this year. And then I think they'll tease that 3 and 4 will get re-released too, before this reboot. Now, speaking of id, this is a dream scenario, but it's probably very unlikely. The dream is to have id expand, and then they take over Halo development, because they know what they're doing with FPS games. An id-led Halo on Unreal Engine 5. Ooh, that could be amazing. That'd be awesome. But again, I just don't think... I think will probably all heads down in Quake. I hope it's not a new IP. I do hope it is a Quake reboot. But we'll see. Because wasn't the last game Quake Champions? Like, it was only multiplayer? I don't know. I want a new single-player Quake. Okay. There's, I think, a tiny chance that we get new Doom Eternal content, but probably not. If they did something, what I would like... They already have a Horde mode, which I still haven't checked out. I would like maybe multiplayer added to Horde mode, so you can have 2-player Horde. If that's not already a thing, I don't think it is. But what I would really like is a separate experience, maybe called Doom Online, like a separate download, free-to-play Doom multiplayer in the vein of Doom 2016. It's like that, but you got the weapon set from Eternal. It's kind of Halo-y. It probably ends up being better than Halo Infinite. And then they maybe add new weapons over time with all those wacky armors they had in Doom 2016. It'd be cool. Doom Online, free-to-play. Make it happen. I think it'd be cool. And the big one that I think it's the big one because it's been so long since we've heard from Machine Games. Like, I know they've been helping develop other games, but it's been way too long. Machine Games, I think there'll be a big surprise. And yeah, last thing they talked about was their Indiana Jones announcement. I think that game's still far away, sadly. But I think there'll be a surprise reveal of Wolfenstein 3. I think it'll finally get revealed. I think it'll play more like 2 than Youngblood. They hopefully learned their lesson from the Youngblood disaster. Even though those levels were brilliant. Like, the level design was brilliant. It's just, I didn't like the health bars and stuff like that. It was weird. The enemies were bullet sponges. They'll say that it's the end of this trilogy. I think old Adolf will be the final villain, like a mecha Adolf. Just like in the original. He'll probably be the final boss. They'll probably change the art style a bit from 2, and then the big surprise will be, oh yeah, it's coming out the end of this year. Like, that'll be the replacement for Starfield. It'll be like, yeah, Starfield's delayed, but here's Wolfenstein 3, and I think that'd be cool. And then also maybe a little cinematic teaser for the indie game, and they tease gameplay next year, and it's probably out next fall. And they're doing, and it'll be like, I keep calling it E3. The showcase will be right before Indy 5 comes out, so it'll be good timing. And then I think Harrison won't be involved. I think it'll be a sound-alike, somebody that, like a voice actor that can imitate his voice. So that's the thing that intrigues me the most, is what on earth Machine Games is doing. I want to know. Next up, Playground Games. This is the last of the first-party things, and then I'll get on to some third-party stuff. Things like partners that I think will contribute to their show. I think this will be the end of the show. It'll be a big Fable blowout. They'll have early gameplay, and then have a vague 2024 release. which will probably get delayed again. I don't know. But I do think we'll actually see Fable gameplay because we've got nothing except for that cinematic years ago. So, yeah, that pretty much does it for first party. And then I have some third party predictions. I think Remedy, because they have a history with Xbox, with Alan Wake 1, Quantum Break being exclusive to Xbox, I think they'll show off first Alan Wake 2 gameplay. And then I think they'll have a Rockstar logo appear, and everyone will freak out because they'll think it's GTA 6. But then a Remedy logo will appear next to it, and they will tease their Mad Max, Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes, which they said they're remaking. Rockstar is going to team up with Remedy to do that, so I think that'll happen. Rockstar probably is not doing much in that. They're not doing anything except GTA 6 right now, so could you imagine it? It'll never, ever happen. Could you imagine if Phil's like, hey, we bought Rockstar, and GTA is an Xbox exclusive? Oh my god, that'd be nuts. But it won't happen. And then maybe they'll re-release Max Payne 3 as well. Who knows? Maybe they'll make 4 one day. I don't know. And then I think Night Dive, who's a good port studio, they're the ones that ported Quake 1 last year. I think they'll have like an act, because by this time I think, because System Shock comes out on PC like in 2 days? And I think it'll get good reviews. And then I think because this event will be like 2 weeks later, they'll have an Accolades trailer talking about how great it is. And then they will announce the release date for Xbox, which, fingers crossed, is this year. I don't know, but maybe. Then I have Studio MDHR teases something, probably Cuphead 2, if I had to guess. That or a new IP, but it's probably Cuphead 2. And maybe they'll announce they have some kind of quicker way of making the game because, yeah, we love the hand-drawn thing. Or maybe they'll announce the studio has expanded because it takes so long. It took like 5 years to make DLC for it. It's got to be a faster way to do it, so they get content out quicker. Next up is a gigantic pipe dream, but it wouldn't. Oh my god, I would lose my mind if Playdead finally reveals their follow-up to Inside, because it's now been longer. I think we've now gone longer, because it was 6 years between Limbo and Inside, and it's now been 7 years, something like that, since Inside. It's crazy. And I loved Inside, and it's like, where is their follow-up? They teased it years ago, and it was like a space game, and then one of them left the studio, so I don't know if that means the game is canceled. I don't think it is, but please, Playdead, show me what you're making next. And then I think Games Workshop will announce that Warhammer Darktide finally getting a release date. My guess is around September, because I still want to play it. I haven't been able to play it because it's only on PC at the moment. Then I got Bloober Team announces Layers of Fears coming to Game Pass Day 1. There'll be a lot of coming to Game Pass Day 1 announcement. That's like the new world premiere. It's them saying this is Day 1 Game Pass. There will be like an Aliens Dark Descent launch trailer, I think, from Cold Iron. Or no, Cold Iron's not doing that. But I do think there'll be a tease of the next AAA Aliens game coming, or that's similar to Colonial Marines. It'll probably be a single player FPS version of like Aliens Fireteam Elite, which I enjoyed, but I wanted a campaign too. It's a fun multiplayer shooter, but yeah, I think Cold Iron will do that next, like a single player Aliens game, or because they announced one. I don't remember who's doing it though. Whoever's doing that one, that's what they'll show a tease of. And then I think Atlas Fallen will get a gameplay demo. I think Xbox has a good relationship with Focus Entertainment, and a lot of these games are from them. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think, will get gameplay. We'll show that, probably have a release date. Ark 2, that's been missing in action. Like, where the hell did that game go? I think they will re-reveal that with gameplay, but still not have a set release date. They'll just show it off again. They're gonna have Vin Diesel riding dinosaurs. Then I think they'll have another Lies of P trailer to show off the fact that it's going to be on Game Pass Day 1. And then we're coming up. I only have a few things left. We're coming up on the end of this video. I think Party Animals, because that studio that's making that game has been silent for a strangely long time. They just kind of disappeared. I think finally that game is coming out this year. So it was supposed to be early this year. That mech farming game, Lightyear Frontier, I think we'll get gameplay and a release date. I think they showed that off at Xbox last year. I was kind of intrigued by it. Team 17 will show off Moving Out 2 and tease Overcooked 3 and maybe even Overcooked VR. And that'll be like that game Captain Cook, which I've played. It's a VR cooking game. It's just a ripoff of Overcooked, but I think Team 17 will make their own. And I love Overcooked, so I really want 3. And then I think Xbox will make a big announcement alongside Starbreeze Entertainment, or whatever they're called, Starbreeze Studios, and say, hey, Payday 3, here's the gameplay, and it's coming to Game Pass day one. That'll be huge. And then I think The Plucky Squire, which I'm looking forward to, that'll be another Game Pass day one, as well as Remnant 2, which looks really cool. That'll be Game Pass day one. Followed by Replaced. Remember that game? Looks cool. I think that'll finally come out this year on Game Pass as well. And then I got 2 more things left. This video is much longer than I anticipated. Stalker 2, unfortunately, I think will not show up because of the Ukraine stuff. Like, it was supposed to be out by now, but that whole situation is so screwed up. I just think that they have bigger fish to fry. Like, do you really want to concern yourself with making a video game while, like, your hometown is being bombed? Yeah, I just... Maybe there'll be some kind of fundraiser. Like, what are they called? Game World? I don't remember what they're called. GSC Studios or something. Maybe they'll have some kind of fundraiser. Be like, help donate money to families affected by the Ukraine war or something. But yeah, I don't think they'll talk much about Stalker 2. In the grand scheme of things, these are just games, and when your family is being shot at and blown up, it puts things into perspective about what's important in life. And then the last thing is I think IO Interactive will have some kind of teaser for their 007 game, because they announced that a while ago and there's been nothing. So fingers crossed you get probably just a cinematic teaser of what Bond is going to look like in it. I don't know. That's all I got. So yeah, that's oh man, that's like, I think that was like 40 things that I wrote down. So, and of course, like I said, there could be things that are announced before, in the next couple weeks before this happens. But I think that is my list. That's took a while to come up with all this, because I do this every year where I go through all the studios, think about what their last games they made, how recent they were, how likely their new games are probably ready to show, and then like I put a lot of thought into this. So yeah, I'm gonna make a bingo card this year, and like I'm not gonna film it, but I will take photos of me crossing off the bingo things that I get right, and then post the pictures in a video. Talk about what I was correct. This is my 3rd year doing this. So 2021 I did a prediction video, and then last year was one in the car. So and I plan on live streaming my live reaction to it as well with one of my friends. So look out for that live stream. So yeah, what do you think of my prediction list for the Xbox Showcase? It's coming up soon. I really love that time of year. It's a lot of fun. It's just fun to be like hyped about something. Like, even if the games don't turn out that well, it's fun having this communal experience of like watching a live stream with other people and being like, oh, what is this? Like, not knowing what something is, and then like the shock and surprise of, I don't know, something about it, watching something live together and having something revealed to you for the first time is fun. It feels like Christmas. So let me know your list in the comments. Tell me what you thought of mine. What are you looking forward to most at this event? Let's hope, I almost said Jeff Keighley. He's not doing it this year. No, he's doing his own thing, the Summer Game Fest. Let's hope Phil and all the crew at Xbox knocks it out of the park this year. So look out for my stream in a couple weeks for that. And until next time, I'll see you later. Peace out.